This is the sunrise I was trying to capture, and I'll show you what I was trying to do and how it went. And the first thing I'll do is show you what kit I had with me. Using my Samsung mobile phone Galaxy, I'll show you what I had. That's a Sony there on video mode, that's a Sony Alpha, and an iPad in video mode. And over there on that fence post, which I used as an impromptu monopod, is an old Fujifilm bridge camera, I think it's SL1000, which has no time-lapse capabilities. So the Sony and the Fuji both went through a pair of batteries, but the main objective was to get this one going, and this is a Canon and it does time-lapse all built in, and we'll see that later. So I set that to about 8 seconds. I used a rather long lens, which might have been a beginner's mistake, because you can see the scale of the sky here, but I'm zoomed in to about that sort of range on the Canon. It's an M6. It was a bit of an experiment this morning. It was a kind of impromptu thing. I've had it in mind for some time to go up Falkland Hill, do a time lapse, and perhaps catch the sun coming up, and also get another camera behind me so I can see the shadow slipping away, perhaps on West Lomond Hill, because the pair of hills would work nicely for that. Anyway, I thought it'd be perhaps useful to go through some conclusions that I came to, and I'll go through some stills while I'm at it, and we can tweak them if we want, but we're not really going to bother away. So first conclusion is the Canon's great because you just pop, pop, click, bing, and you're off. I think my biggest mistake was using the big lens on it. I got a long one, and I had a couple of options for shorter ones, and I think it would have been better to pull back so that I got a wider frame. And you maybe we'll see that in the shots here. If I go to the next one, this is using the Canon afterwards just to take just shots of the landscape around me, and that is Falkland Hill. There's a road up to these aerials, so that was where I was planning on going, was up to exactly where those aerials were, and then maybe catch the sun on the actual hill at the back of me, maybe. What else we got? This is the Canon again. Now that there is West Lomond Hill. That's the one that's over to the west. And and that'd be superb for a sunset over Loch Leven. So I ended up being quite close in, and I really kind of wanted to be a bit further back. So we'll see the range of scenery that I've got there. You know, what I've ended up doing effectively is cropping in on sort of this area ish, maybe a bit more, and that's kind of what we were seeing through the Canon, which is it's nice. I like it. I'm happy with it. It was good. It came out well. But when we see the rest of the scenery around there that we could have had, and the scale of that sky, of course, I had no idea what the sunrise was going to do. I think with a sunset, you've got a better idea because you see in the clouds and you know the sun's going to go down. You can kind of predict that. Sunrise is bit of an unknown quantity. What else did we get? This I think is from the Fuji thing. Does it say? Oh no, that's the Samsung. So presumably that's my phone, is it? All right, okay. I might like to tinker with the tone of that. Let's see what it does for, if I hit I'm feeling lucky, that will change the white balance for me automatically. Now it makes it a wee bit colder, that's all, so we'll undo that. I think in terms of editing I would tweak up the shadows. See how that gets richer in colour there? And I could have simulated the sunrise from my desktop, couldn't I? There we go, and the sun comes up like thunder. You could even tweak that. If we give it boost, it will go crazy, but we can turn down the boost. That's about it. I find boost tends to bring up the reds. If I go for saturation, that kind of yellowy bluey a wee bit, we can increase that. Too much. It usually comes up just nice about there. I'm liking having the mountain, and I think maybe I could have framed it better if I'd had more time to do that. I think I like all of the sky and stuff. I don't know what that is in there. It's somebody's nasty bit of polythene fields, isn't it? I like all of the sky. I think a bit of trees on left and right, maybe not so much black ground, although I suppose it adds contrast, and I liked all of the sky, so I'd maybe be looking at framing something like about that, perhaps, maybe. And that's kind of how I would have, in an ideal world, I would have got a lens that did that and set it just right for doing that, but that'll do me. And maybe darken a wee tad, I don't know. But you can't really darken videos. I suppose somewhere there might be a set of those stills from the Canon that could in fact be darkened. So just moving on quickly for some other stills. This is the, what is this? This is the Samsung, so that's my phone again. And the colour seems all wrong to me. Let's see if it will correct it. I'm feeling lucky. No. Can we do anything with the colour temperature? That's too blue. We've warmed it up a wee bit, but nah, it's shot, isn't it? It's bad. I didn't stop to fiddle with the phone at all. I just took the snap. It's fiddly. I don't like doing flat screen stuff. What is this now? That's the Samsung again. And then this would be from the oh, that's the Apple, that's the iPad. Yeah, right. I was kicking myself because I had a bendy wire in the car and I could have rigged it up better, because there's too much car in that. So that obviously wants cropping out the car. I'd keep some of the height in, but that's messed up the ratio. Oh, there's that field now. It's Oh, I see, it's kind of snow covered and a couple of horses in it. They probably wander about in the time lapse. But like that, and then ooh, it's just itching to be darkened, isn't it? No, I can't stand that. Hang on. Let's try that first, and we'll apply that, and then we'll go back to here. Do we want to just go warmer? Because some of that, if we're not careful, we blow it out. But I like catching the light under the clouds here. And what one is this? This is the Samsung. That's my phone. So my phone's all over the place. It's just doing what it likes, isn't it? And then that's, I don't know what I've taken that with. That's the phone again. I don't know how I've managed to zoom in with my phone because I don't usually like doing that. I did take along some food. I actually made up some, this is my breakfast patties that I make. And they have, it's finely chopped bacon, finely chopped onion, some oatmeal, and mix that up with some lava bread, which is a form of seaweed. And you put half a tin of that in and mix that up for a couple of rashers of bacon and some oatmeal and onions, and then make it into a patty, fry that up, and I put it in a vac pack bag. And I did a little egg roll, which is just a kind of scrambled eggy kind of thing in a frying pan, rolled up, flattened, put in a vac pack, and then took some heat packs. So you drop the food in, drop some water in, and it heats up. 12 minutes later, I was having breakfast, and I took a nice flask of tea with my favourite, what do you call that stuff? Earl Grey blue flower. Lovely. So I had a nice breakfast as the cameras all did their things, and we filmed the sunrise. So that was my morning. I would also say when I got there, it was looking like that. It was starting to look like that, and I wished I'd got there earlier. The morning twilight started, I was on my way just about 5 minutes past 6. Don't know how long it took me to get there, 15 minutes I guess. And I was kicking myself because I wish I'd started an hour before actual sunrise. So although the sun comes over the horizon, it's like a sunset. The colours are lag the sun. The sun goes down and then you get the colours when the sun gets under the cloud. Yeah. So the darkness was starting to fade and it was starting to come light as I was on my way, and I was thinking, I'm not going all the way over to Falkland Hill there. So I stopped short. This was plan B. I knew there was a high point here because I go there to photograph hares and things. So that's up the Leyden Urquhart Road, Tar something, I can't remember the name, just on the border of Fife there, just over the hills from me. And I was just lucky. I just got an awesome sunrise, and I had good fun. And it was a nightmare getting stuff off this iPad. It's a pain getting stuff off the iPad into your machine, and then in the video editor it wouldn't edit. I don't know what extra data they've got in the video files. It was a nightmare. It just whenever I shrank it to compress it, to speed it up, to give it that time lapse effect, it just wasn't playing. So I had to produce it as a video and then import it back in again. I don't know if I lost quality doing that. I probably did. So that was my day, and I also got some moonshots somewhere, but they didn't come out terribly well. But I did think afterwards I should have been filming the moon setting as the sun was rising. That would have been good. I don't know if that'll work tomorrow or not, because the moon's on a different cycle from the sun, isn't it? I wonder if we can find those moon shots. They were okay, but if I pop in here to secondary sunset, sunrise. I keep calling it a sunset. This is the Fuji stills. So there's the sort of best of that one. There's the moon. That's actually taken pretty much in daylight, and that was the moon when I got there. And that bridge camera's got a nice zoom on it, 50 times zoom, so you get some nice moon shots with it. I was far more interested in the sunrise at the time. That must have been what it was like when I arrived, because I think the first thing I did was try and take a shot of that and then of the moon. So there we go. $12 minutes, so that's not too bad. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Maybe learned something. I know I did. Cheers. Bye.